Terrific is dropping back on the outside of Just a Dancer as third last as they go into the straighter. And a bit further back is Solar Circuit, and last of all is Chalier. They sweep to the side now. Donegal Miss goes to the front by a length. Mickey's Town second, a length. Chevelle Cavalier on the inside of Ray's Hope. Out three deep is Livingstone Lane. Just in behind them, Rough Adamant on the inside of Shazura. Royal Creation further back, followed by Ricochet Rosie. Over on the inside, Citizen a half length, the Waterboat Runner. Prince Soleri a bit further back in the field, a length and a half into Terrific. And they were being followed by Just a Dancer, who's over on the inside of Savage Toss and Universal Ambition as they sweep along the side. Solar Circle is back behind them, and Chalier is last of all. The leader, Donegal Mist, about a length to Mickey's Town, racing up to the 1400. In third, Posse on the inside, getting a beautiful runner, Chevelle Cavalier. They're followed by Livingstone Lane. Race Hope back behind them. Rough Habit, Shazura, and they were being followed closely by Citizen, who's on the inside of Waterboat Runner. A bit further back than over on the inside, Solar Circle. They're racing over the top of the hill, and the leader still Donegal Mist. About a length, Mickey's Town second, a length away, Chevelle Cavalier. They're followed by Livingstone Lane, and Race Hope is going around them, and on the outside, Ricochet Rosie and Royal Creation there also. Rough Habit is back along on the inside as they sweep onto the railway side. Then Prince Soleri, Citizen's got a fair way back in the field, followed by Waterboat Runner. Just a Dancer's got about two behind him, and they're Terrific and Chalier. They're on the railway side with about 700 metres left to go, and here's a great tussle for the leader. Donegal Mist on the inside is just the leader here. Moving up on his outside, Mickey's Town is close hand here. Ricochet Rosie is coming with a great run, followed by Race Hope and Chevelle Cavalier. 2 lengths to Rough Habit. Citizen on the inside, starting to gain ground, Livingstone Lane, and they're followed by Just a Dancer right around the outside, Shazura, and further back then Waterboatman, followed by Prince Soleri on the home turn, 400 to go. Mickey's Town has ranged up on the outside to tackle Donegal Mist, and wider on the track, Ricochet Rosie. They're followed by Citizen, pulled to the outside to make his run. Here he comes, Citizen. Citizen joining in to come up to Mickey's Town down past the 200. Citizen takes the lead in the Foster's Caulfield Cup, and he's dashed clear. Mickey's Town, they're followed by Donegal Mist, Waterboatman, Shazura, and Just a Dancer, but it's Citizen for the Foster's Caulfield Cup. A great win. Citizen and Mick Dittman come down to score. A length and a half, Waterboatman, Shazura third. They're followed further back by Donegal Mist and then Mickey's Town.
The three place getters, Citizen, Waterboatman and Shazura, were all outstanding, and this trio will dominate betting on the Melbourne Cup. It was a first Caulfield Cup victory for Dittman.
He felt good to me in the race, you know, he travelled nice. Got a bit further back than probably what I thought, but they went fairly quick up front. But getting towards the 600 when I had to move forward, Skirton runs along the inside, he always had a bit in the tank, you know.
He carried a great horse's weight today, 57 kilos. He must be a great horse.
He is a good horse, you know. He's a better horse this season than he was last season when I won the Tankard on him, no doubt about that. But he loves this type of ground. He's had things to suit him, but there's no doubt he is a good horse.
Stable plans are now for him to run in the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup. Could he do that treble?
Not impossible for him.
It was also a first for legendary trainer Bob Hoysted. Hoysted has banned interviews with the media due to a dispute he's been conducting with the handicappers in Victoria, and he had declared during the week he would boycott the presentation if Citizen won the Cup.
The last few weeks haven't been very easy for me. I've had to do something that I didn't wish to do, that's fall out with the press, and I originally didn't intend to come out here today, but my family, my friends have insisted.
Ironically, Citizen's chances of joining the greats who have won the Cup's double will depend heavily on what extra weight Jim Bowler gives the 5-year-old in the Melbourne Cup following this slashing victory. Yes, and Jim Bowler will make his decision today. He can re-handicap Citizen up to 4.5 kilos. At the moment, the horse has 56 in the Melbourne Cup. He carried 57 yesterday. Historically, if we look at the horses that have been able to win the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup double in the 1 year, you can see the re-handicaps. Poseidon in 1906 was a 3-year-old, so he went up 5.5 to take him to weight for age because he'd won the Derby. In 37, the Trump went up the maximum of 4.5. He went up to 6.5 below weight for age. 49 Revette went up 4.5 the maximum, but she was still 9 below weight for age. The Great Rising Fast, Bob Hoysted strapped this horse in 1955 when he won the Caulfield Cup. His father trained the horse in 55 when it won the Caulfield Cup, so there's a connection there. Rising Fast went up 4.5 to weight for age and won the Melbourne Cup. In 62, Even Stevens beat the handicapper. He went up the maximum, but was still 6.5 below. In 66, Galilee, who's probably the best stayer I've seen, went up 3 and was only 1/2 below. And then Gurner's Lane, who's the last horse to do the double, he went up 3 kilograms. His trainer, Jeff Murphy, blued with Jim Bowler afterwards and said that the horse had received too much weight, but he still went on to beat Kingston Town in the Melbourne Cup. He was 1 below. So what will Jim Bowler give Citizen? I would think he's got 56 now. The horse will be asked to carry either 58.5 or 59. I reckon he'll get 2.5 or 3 kilos. We'll know that later today, the re-handicap for Siddiston. The Melbourne Cup market. Well, the horse is a hot favourite. He's at 4-1. And it may change after the re-handicap. If he gets 3 and goes to 59, then I think he'll ease. Shazora, who ran a slashing race yesterday, is at 7-1, flashing home for 3rd. The 2 from the Lee Friedman stable, Frontier Boy, who was 2nd in the Herbert Power, is at 10-1. Terrific, the defending champion, so to speak, at 10-1. At 12-1, Just a Dancer. Jim Cassidy thinks he'll be better at Flemington than he was yesterday. The Phantom, who's still under that cloud, and Water Boatman is at 15-1. He ran a very good 2nd in the Caulfield Cup. I'm pretty sure that the winner of the Melbourne Cup will come from the first 3 place getters yesterday in the Caulfield Cup. I know last year it didn't happen. Cole Diesel winning the race and the 2 place getters didn't fire in the Melbourne Cup, but I reckon this year the form guide for the Melbourne Cup came out of yesterday. 2 other important races yesterday were the Caulfield Sprint at Caulfield and also the Norman Robinson Stakes. A number of 3-year-olds were being tested for the Derby. Centro, who'd scored a shock victory in the Group 1 Caulfield Guineas last Saturday, headed the weights. And another favourite was Kaleo Star, having his first start in Victoria this spring, following some promising results in Sydney. Big Dermot was ridden by champion rider Harry White, and he had his opposition struggling on the home turn.
But Big Dermot doing it sweetly around the bend. Oh, he sprinted away now, Big Dermot. He's out 3 in front of Kaleo Star at the 200-metre mark. 3 further back, Fire Oak gets to 3rd from Centro and Great Sabre, but Big Dermot, it is in no danger today. This is the Big Dermot we saw at Sandown, not the one we saw at Flemington. It's got a walk in Big Dermot. And Big Dermot down to the line, hands and heels here. Big Dermot from Harry White, about 4 or 5 lengths of the run home. Kaleo Star, 4 away 3rd, Fire Oak.
6 weeks ago, Big Dermot was a maiden. Now he's a legitimate contender for the bigger races this spring. The Caulfield Sprint featured the return to the races of Street Ruffian, the 4-year-old who dominated the early weight for age races this season, winning the Lightning, the Churnside and the Manikato Stakes. Carrying the top weight of 57, Street Ruffian put up a brave effort, but was finally run down by the New South Wales sprinter Rise and Shine.
The straight, Street Ruffian in front, from on the outside, Cinder Sign, and back behind them, Unspoken Word, trying to get a run further out now. Rise and Shine starting to come home very well at the 100-metre mark. Street Ruffian in front from Rise and Shine, Cinder Sign, Unspoken Word, then Mr. Cuban, Lady of Perfection. Street Ruffian in front, Rise and Shine, wearing it down on the outside. I think it might have got up Rise and Shine in the last stride over Street Ruffian, Unspoken Word 3rd.
Rise and Shine has gone up a notch this spring, and he could now be a threat in the $301,000 Gadsden Stakes on Derby Day. Yes, and that race is coming up in a fortnight. So concludes the Caulfield Cup Carnival, but on Wednesday there was the $300,000 Group 1 1,000 guineas for the fillies. The favourite here was from the Graham Begg stable, a filly called Twiglet, who had won the Edward Manifold Stakes at a previous start at Flemington. The second favourite was Triscay, who was the top filly as a 2-year-old, and she's been very consistent in Sydney this year. And Graham Begg, as well as Twiglet, had a filly called Whisk, who's being set for the Oaks. Let's go to the closing stages of the 1,000 guineas.
Behind them, Claire's Girl, homeward bound. Lycra moved up to Triscay, and they slipped away 2.5 in front of the 300 from Twiglet down the outside. Then Bavaria, it's Lycra, and on the inside Triscay from Twiglet, Special Sculpture and Bavaria. It's Triscay on the inside, fighting back again, a neck in front of Lycra. Getting out now, rattling home is Whisk late. Triscay in front, Whiskers grabbing it out wide. Whisk and Triscay, and Whisk gets up to win.
And won't she be hard to beat in the Oaks? And the more you see of top racing, more it comes back to the very best jockeys win the best races. Mick Dittman yesterday, Gavin Duffy there on Wednesday, Shane Dye, Jim Cassidy, etc, etc. So Cox Plate next Saturday. Some news is that John Marshall will come down and ride Integra in that race. He's going to trial the horse at Moonee Valley on Tuesday morning, and we'll see Siddiston taking on Better Loosen Up in that glamour weight for age race.